this event in past years has provided them an opportunity for a few more wow moments for the NFL scouts that have been following them. After spending a lot of time with these guys over the last couple of days, one thing for sure, none of them like to finish in second place, even if it's an event like this. But first up, guys, we're going to look at the quarterbacks in the accuracy competition, and accuracy always paramount when you look at the next level, guys.
Yeah, I think particularly, Mark, in this era of spread option style quarterbacks coming out of college football, Todd, it always comes down to quarterback accuracy if you're going to be successful at the next level.
First up in the Mercedes-Benz quarterback accuracy, quarterback throws 10 different balls at 4 targets. Point total increases with the distance, 20, 40, 60, and 80 respectively. 10 points for only hitting the board, and the most points, of course, wins. And first up, we've got Oregon State's Sean Canfield, who this year completed 68% of his passes, put together some very good numbers. That's 68% in Oregon State's single-season record. It also ranked 5th nationally. His first team all Pac-10 this year, the Beavers, with a very successful season. He was the orchestrator of it all on offense.
You know, Canfield's a southpaw, very accurate quarterback, can get into a rhythm and really can get hot. You watch him in this competition, I expect him to do well. I mean, he's the type of quarterback you can take him out of his normal launch point, and he typically does a very good job of finding his target and putting it on accurately. I think he'll do well in this.
He's the first one up.
It's always difficult in this competition, I think, is as you look at Canfield, just stand there flat-footed. It's a little uncomfortable to the quarterbacks because there's no pass rush and there's really no timing involved. So there's kind of an idea of overthinking it, thinking a little too much on this drill.
He missed everything that time after hitting the 40-point target. Canfield started 9 games as a sophomore before being slowed down by a shoulder injury.
I think the thing you love about Sean Canfield, he's here for one reason, because he had a great senior year. You know, he was actually a backup as a junior. He's not here because of preseason hype.
That was a good throw.
Because of productivity as a senior.
Hey, Bob, if you need me to now, I'll rush them to make it look a little more realistic because they're just standing there flat-footed.
There you go, Des.
I can put a little pressure on them.
All right, next up at the accuracy competition, Dan Lefevre of Central Michigan.
And you know, Coach, I think he'd be a perfect fit early in his career as a backup, let's say, for the New Orleans Saints. You know, Sean Payton's a creative mind. We're in a situation where you had 2 or 3 years to develop him, but he's got a lot of tools to work with, and the bottom line is he's a winner. Yeah. And I think with the right coach, he's got an opportunity to succeed a few years down the road.
Yeah, kind of a difficult competition for him because he made so many plays throwing on the run and scrambling. Here, another situation, you see him just sitting there eyeballing that target, but really so far, pretty good accuracy.
And Lefevre of Central Michigan, he had said that down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl, it was a little bit different for him getting underneath the center, taking snaps.
No question. And it's not just, people always say getting under the center. It's really the dropping and reading coverages while under center. You get so used to getting that shotgun snap 5-7 yards back and being able to see the entire field right away from almost a standstill or taking 1 or 3-step drop from that point. When you have to start under center behind that offensive line and you don't have great heart tight to begin with, it becomes a lot more difficult.
And
and I think the last throw he made is something that the NFL scouts really want to see. I think they want to see maybe a little more zip, maybe a little more arm strength.
Not proud.
But had a really good showing at the Senior Bowl, from what I understand.
He really did. Very accurate. And you know what? And that's why I said a team like the Saints that aren't so obsessed with driving the ball down the field and you can work the underneath, or any team running that West Coast offense in the NFL, I think Lefevre would be a good fit as a mid-round pick.
Interesting that Lefevre was a little bit short on a lot of his throws. Zach Robinson of Oklahoma State coming up next. The score to beat so far, Sean Canfield of Oregon State with 120 points.
Of the 6 quarterbacks at the Senior Bowl, including Tim Tebow and Tony Pike, I thought that Robinson exceeded expectations the most. He played above his level, and that just shows in that kind of scenario when you have hundreds and hundreds of coaches and scouts at the NFL level staring at every single move, he handled that pressure so well.
Yeah, and I think the offseason really important for him because, you know, his productivity as a senior dropped off, Todd. You know, he had a great sophomore year, a great junior year, but as a senior, 15 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. But we know anytime you take a guy like Des Bryant off that field, the productivity is going to drop off. But this is a big offseason for him.
Zach Robinson at 100 points, coming up a little bit short. And
here's
now
the one
more
you're always
target.
anxious to see. This deep ball right here, worth 80 points.
Oh, he missed everything.
That was bad.
I don't even think Des Bryant could have gone up and gotten that.
He knew it right away, too.
I know, all over one.
But, Todd, you brought up the point.
120.
I think guys competing in events, they're a little uncomfortable competing again.
The weather's certainly a lot more forgiving than it has been recently in the Miami area, and you'd think that would help them with their throws. And on target right there was 60. There's a look at the breakdown. Ends up tying Sean Canfield with 120 points for the lead. And Jevin Sneed is the last quarterback to come here out of Ole Miss.
Started out at Texas, highly recruited out of Stephenville, Texas, spent his freshman year at Texas, then transferred, sat out 1 year at Ole Miss, and played 2 years. Actually had another year of eligibility. Came out early.
He's going to be one of the most debated quarterbacks, I think, in this year's class. Because he had an opportunity to go back to school. Things didn't go as well as he would have liked this past year. A lot of it having to do with a supporting cast that was not great. And if he went back and had a great year, maybe he's a first-round pick. Now there's a debate second or third round, but he has the skills of a first-round.
I think the thing that jumps out at me, and I don't mean this in a negative way necessarily, but he looks a little bit stiff. You know, he's a big, strong guy that doesn't look real loose throwing the football to me.
At 100 points so far, came up short on that one. Jevin Sneed with an inordinate amount of interceptions this year, threw 20 interceptions. How did the scouts take that into account? And almost
I thought I had it.
got the 80. So Sean Canfield and Zach Robinson are going to go one more round in a playoff. Both of them tied for first place with 120 points.
I think Sean Canfield, you know, played in Mike Riley's system at Oregon State. A lot of pro elements involved in the passing game, but he threw a lot of bootlegs, a lot of naked short play action passes, which helps him. But I think NFL people really want to see his arm strength. I think that's probably the only knock on him.
He's got 20 so far. Yet to hit the target.
You'll see here, and the short intermediate, as you're talking about, Coach, he's very accurate. And I think later on we'll see, too, he struggles a little bit when having to throw on the run, but he does a great job within about 20 yards of being able to put the ball in certain spots.
I think the other thing that helps someone like Sean Canfield coming from a pro-style scheme, the checks in the run game. You know, a lot of people think about, well, if you played in the shotgun, how big of a deal is it to go under center in the NFL? The biggest difference is in the run game and the run game checks coming from center. And I think it really helps him having played in that pro-style scheme at Oregon State.
Well, guys, he matches his first-round score of 120 points.
Yeah, pretty much.
Doing the same.
I see you got the lips nice and glossed up.
See Marty Gilliard out of Cincinnati giving him a little encouragement. Here's a look at one of his better throws.
Again, you can see they have a lot of time to think about those throws.
Here's
What's
his
fun is
reaction.
You see these guys without the helmets. So you see the reaction right there.
They're all friends and laughing it up before it starts. We're about 10 minutes into these drills, and it's game time.
And you know what? You never know who's watching.
That's right.
I mean, some NFL head coach, some NFL coordinator sitting at home may fall in love or may dislike you, but you never know who's watching.
Just the way you carry yourself.
Zach Robinson had a touchdown pass in every game that he played this season. And he became a bigger part of the offense, of course, more focal part of it after Des Bryant's dismissal from the team.
I think you can see right there sometimes, the quicker you take that ball off and launch it, the better you are. And if you hesitate and hold on, it's like standing at that tee box too long. You're better off just letting it rip.
I mean, that's exactly it. The first one, he's staring at it for 10 seconds and comes up short.
A little bit of a stare factor there.
If they end up tied, they're going to be declared co-champions.
Let it go. There you go.
Got 10 on that one, up to 100 points.
I mean, so much of these drills, and the drills they use at the combine side, Guys practice those drills and become comfortable. This is the first time he's done this drill.
And he missed it, which would have tied him with Canfield. So Sean Canfield is the winner of the Mercedes-Benz quarterback accuracy competition.
Does that mean he's going to be driving a Mercedes-Benz out of
I don't know if that's
parking
part of the
lot this afternoon or
deal.
what?
He might be already. These guys have been working hard since the end of their respective seasons, and Desmond Howard is downstairs with our winner.
Okay, Sean, congratulations. Good job. Now, how did it feel that second round going against Zach Robinson? How did you feel?
It was good. A good, healthy competition between two OSU guys.
And how about that last throw, that 80-point throw? What went wrong on that 80-point throw?
I didn't lead it enough. I hit it in the first round, threw it on the line, and let him. And that last one just didn't put it out there enough.
Yeah, Marty Gilgers, he's not a big wide out, too. So you got to lead Marty. But good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Des. Here's a look at the final scores and the tally. Sean Canfield of Oregon State edging out Zach Robinson of Oklahoma State in a sudden death playoff.